It's an account run by a young boy named Harley Dilly, which served as an outlet for him to post videos about his life, his favorite video games, and even the occasional live stream. And quite honestly, the majority of this YouTube channel seems completely normal. But when looking at this content closer, it becomes more and more apparent that there was darkness lurking behind the scenes. Darkness that would become even more apparent as in December of 2019, Harley Dilly would vanish.
But first, a heartbroken mother waiting for her missing son to walk back into her arms.
Tonight marks 7 days since the disappearance of 14-year-old Harley Dilly.
Like many kids his age, Harley was interested in video games, such as Roblox and Madden, and he had been posting videos of himself playing these games since the young age of 10 years old. Over time, Harley would begin to show his audience more and more about his life, with topics ranging from his hobbies to his recent performances at school. And even through this, there was nothing that really seemed to hint at anything dark happening in Harley's life. But over time, a clear trend starts to emerge within these videos, and that is the fact that Harley and his mother would frequently get in arguments.
So yesterday, well actually today, my mom and I got into an argument because I didn't want to walk to school. Because I live like 4 blocks and it's like 34 degrees.
This is something mentioned multiple times throughout these early videos, and it's nothing all that surprising. I mean, after all, most kids will argue with their parents, and it's likely that Harley was using his channel as an outlet to express his frustrations. But any idea of this being your typical family bickering would soon be thrown out the window in October of 2018, when Harley would hold a now deleted live stream titled, "I'm Scared."
What's up? It is Harley Dilly. Probably one of my worst days of my life. My mom wanted me to go with her to go get a friend, and I said I don't want to. I have work to do, so I want to go home. We argued for about a good 5 minutes. Then she snapped. She said she was gonna call the police, and she said she already did. And she locked me out of the house. So right now I'm outside. Yep, the house is locked. I haven't ate anything, and I still haven't even got to get my work done. My mom's gone. She won't answer the phone. I legit was scared.
In the video, we see Harley outside in the cold, as he explains that his mother had threatened to call the police on him over an argument that the two had had. On top of this, his mother also locked him outside of the house, without any food or water, on a frigid October night. Now clearly these aren't really healthy things for his mother to be doing, especially given the fact that at this time, Harley was merely 12 years old. And this extreme punishment came from a situation that didn't seem all that bad. The whole situation is a major red flag that's made all the more concerning after Harley says the following line.
I just want you guys to wish me good luck, because the future could hold bad things for me. I don't want to find out what that could mean.
The relationship between Harley and his mother clearly comes across as toxic within this video, and this was far from a one-time thing. In fact, in details that would later emerge, it would be revealed that Harley's mother had actually called the police on him on 5 separate occasions, one of which coming when he was only 10 years old. Harley had ADHD, as well as high-functioning autism, 2 disorders that can cause hyperfixation, outbursts, and many of the behaviors that had led to all of these family arguments. And in these situations, Harley is practically powerless to stop his own outbursts or destructive tendencies. And it's really up to his mother to understand this and find a way to help him with these habits. On one particular video, we can hear Harley's father, Marcus, yelling and screaming in the background at Harley's mother and 4-year-old sibling because the young child had spilled their drink.
God damn it!
My dad's being an asshole right now in my bed.
Harley would eventually switch to a brand new page in 2019 called Harley Dilly 2.0, where he continued posting similar content. 1 week later, on December 19th, 2019, Harley would complain of an upset stomach and ask his mother if he could stay home from school. She would not allow him to, however, telling him to, quote, "get your ass to school," and so he left the house, walking towards the school as he always did. Only this time, he wouldn't make it there. Day would turn to night, and not only had Harley not shown up to school, but he wasn't at his home either. And to make matters worse, it was yet another freezing cold night. Still, Harley's parents did not seem overly worried, as they would end up waiting until the next morning to report their son as missing. Harley's mother Heather would take to Facebook in a now deleted post begging people to help find her son, but days would quickly pile up into weeks with no sign of the 14-year-old boy. As search efforts ramped up and the story became national news, people began to stumble across Harley's channel, discovering videos like the "I'm Scared" livestream, calling many to question the parents' potential involvement in his disappearance, as it seemed throughout these videos that Harley had been potentially neglected or even abused. This theory was especially prevalent given the fact that they had waited a whole day to report Harley as missing, as well as the cold message that Heather had left Harley with that morning. However, most others believed that Harley had just ran away under the guise of going to school. Either way, authorities had no clue where Harley could have gone, as he just vanished without leaving a trail behind. However, on January 13th, 2020, this would all change. That day, police had searched an empty home across the street, which at the time no one was living in, as it served more as a summer home for the owners. When searching the house, police would find clothing that belonged to Harley, including his jacket, sweatpants, a single sock, and slip-on shoes. His glasses were also found lying there as well. It was clear that Harley had been in that home, but the rooms were all empty, and there was no sign of him at all, other than his clothing. It wasn't until investigators decided to look up the chimney that they would find what they were looking for. Lodged within the narrow, claustrophobic opening was Harley's decomposing body, trapped within its four walls. Coroners would later conclude that he had died of compressive asphyxiation, which happens when respiration is prevented by external pressure of the body. According to official reports, it was believed that Harley had attempted to get inside the locked house, knowing it was vacant, by going through the chimney. Right next to the house stood a telephone pole with prongs like a ladder that he would have likely taken to get up there. Once on the roof, Harley then supposedly attempted to slide down the chimney, an opening that was just 9 by 13 inches. But once halfway down, Harley would become stuck, having just enough room to shed his clothing in an attempt to have just a little bit more space. Unable to climb out of the chimney, and now in a minimal amount of clothing, Harley would have been stuck there in the cold, with virtually no hope of survival, as no one was home to hear his screaming. It would be within that chimney that Harley would slowly suffocate to death. It's a heartbreaking way to go, but even though this is the official conclusion, there are still many who point blame at the parents, with many even thinking that they were somehow involved. This is not only because of the circumstances seen throughout the channel, but also because of the behavior of Harley's father. While police were frantically searching for Harley, his father had allegedly bragged about the amount of coverage that this case was getting. He had also told his colleagues that he was taking out a life insurance policy on Harley just a week after he had disappeared and 2 weeks before his body was found. And when describing the relationship that Marcus had with Harley, his own son, he described it as strained, saying, "We know each other, and there's a relationship there. He knows I'm his dad and he's my son, but the relationship is rocky." Now honestly, I have never heard a father talk like this about their own son, especially when that son was missing. And so I can understand why people have red flags about the parents, especially with the dark clues left behind on his channel. Plus a slew of other minor inconsistencies throughout the entirety of the case. that truthfully would require a full documentary to go over every detail. But ultimately, there is no actual concrete physical evidence that proves that this was anything other than an accident. An accident spurred on as a combination of Harley's autism and his frayed relationship with his parents, a relationship that led to his eventual running away and ultimately his death. And seeing it play out through his channel is an eerie thing, as it subtly hints at the fate that would soon befall him. But in Harley's case, these clues were hidden, buried within a channel that was otherwise nothing out of the ordinary.